Hello everyone, welcome back to the garden. I know this has kind of been a long anticipated one that you guys have really wanted. I was going to do an entire collection video at the end of the season. I still might, but I thought I would go ahead and kind of do this zinnia collection to show you what the Floret and Don Creek zinnias are doing here in my yard. Now, several of these look very similar to each other, but I did my best to keep them separated and do a good job of making sure I had the right ones to show you. A raccoon did get into one of my seed trays, and some of them got kind of mixed up because it had a total party in there. But otherwise, I think I did a pretty good job of knowing which ones are which. So I thought it would be fun to take you around now that they are finally starting to bloom. Without further ado, I guess let's just get into it. This first one is called Alpen Glow. I definitely see where the name Alpen Glow comes from. Very kind of nice creamy shades of this lavender-ish color and the kind of peachy color. When you look at each of the blooms close up, you can see there is kind of a kind of darker purple perimeter that develops as the flowers age, which kind of gives it this unique, almost fluorescent appearance. I'm not sure if I'm doing it actual justice in describing it in that manner, but very unique and interesting nonetheless. These flowers were nice and full, which I was happy to see. And of course, the unique coloration just makes it such a welcome addition. I think this one was really nice. This is one of the bigger varieties that I grew, and I love seeing it there. Should mention my spacing on these is about 6 inches apart. The next variety that I wanted to show you and began opening here in the yard, this is Don Creek Blush. As you can see by the range of colors, very pretty pastels. Much more of a cactus type shape, kind of similar to something like Senorita or that kind of zinnia. Did have a little bit of a range of colors. Most of them were this kind of lavender, blush, pinkish color. I did have a few that were a little bit on the yellow side or a little more pink than others, some variation there. But overall, pretty consistent in terms of color in that form. A lot of the cactusy ones were very wild looking. Next to begin opening was Golden Hour. I've grown Golden Hour in the past when it was first released, like, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago now. I think this variety has definitely been improved in comparison to what I grew previously. And if you're interested, you can go look back at that other video. Or it might be because, you know, growing conditions in this bed are a lot different. This bed is very sunny, less shade. The colors of these are much crisper, and the overall form in terms of whether, you know, semi-double and all that is a lot better than the first time I grew it. Moving right along, we have another one from Don Creek. This is the Don Creek collection Pastel. Very similar to the other one, a lot more range in color in terms of color for this one. I noticed lots of pinks and peaches and a few of those deeper kind of lavender purple colors in the mix as well. Again, with the cactus flowers, it seems like most of the Don Creek creations have that cactus flower. Little Flower Girl is yet another that I have grown in the past. Again, you can take a look at those older zinnia videos if you want to see footage from them. They're very small, a lot smaller than what I, usually gravitate towards. Something about small blooms that are just annoying to me because they're such, they take so much effort to cut. These shades are very attractive. Nonetheless, most of these were single-ish types with a clear, ring there in the center. Lots of really pretty lavender pinks and kind of that Golden Hour peachy shade in there as well. Next, we have Don Creek Peach. I think this ended up being one of my favorites. Just very soft pastel pink and those kind of peachy, dreamy, yum, so pretty pastel shades. This one was definitely one of my favorites. The flowers were nice and large, and the colors were consistent, which is something I always love. Another smaller type, we had Victorian Wedding. I did like these a little bit more than Little Flower Girl simply because the flowers were much more double and there was a greater range of color. And many of these kind of pastel pink shades seemed to like glow. And I thought that was very pretty. And there were some really attractive beige tones in there. Don Creek Honey was another one that had a lot of variety for me. I think a lot of the seeds might have gotten mixed up with some other varieties because of the raccoons, unfortunately. But this is what I had in the patch I did want to show you. I think this variety was really tampered with by the raccoons. Moving right along, next one is Unicorn Mix. Unicorn Mix has long been one of my favorites. It's actually one of the ones that I was able to isolate that kind of interesting pink color that you guys have seen in the past with the kind of different tones of orange and pink. I love that one. It's so pretty. Mine are still a little bit unpredictable, but they're one of my favorites. I just love them. I love the colors. It looks like old wallpaper or something. Just so stinking cute and so different from a lot of the pastels. I mean, I love pastels as much as the next person, but sometimes it's nice to have just a little bit something different. Last but certainly not least in this video, we have Precious Metals. This one ended up being one of my favorites. I do think a few of the seeds from a different tray got in here a little bit, but for the most part, the colors were very consistent. Just these gorgeous double flowers. These were among the biggest double flowers for me among all of these different varieties, and they were most dependable in terms of being, being double and just nice and fluffy and things like that, which I really love. Overall, I'm insanely pleased with the results of this garden and how everything turned out. It's been really hot here, lots of rain and stuff, so these have been definitely put to the test in terms of, difficult weather, because it is still steaming hot here. Hopefully this video was helpful. I know a lot of these different types of plants and flowers are a big investment, and I mean, I get it. Without you guys, it genuinely would not be possible for me to even grow this stuff or afford it. So I am insanely, I'm so thankful. I hope it was helpful being able to show you the different types and maybe deciding which one you might want to introduce in your yard or all that good stuff. Of course, I'm going to be saving the seeds from these and keeping them going here in my yard. I grew the original Dawn Creek for the last couple years. I've really enjoyed having those. Of course, you can find videos for those last year if you're interested. And, zinnia growing tips and incomplete how-to and all that stuff. Otherwise, I think that's it. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe if you want. If you don't, no big deal. No pressure, no problems. Thank you for stopping by. I hope the weather is seriously nice wherever you are. You totally deserve it. Don't you ever forget it. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.